welcome to Geekset Rewind GT, a very special edition of Geekset Rewind where we are recapping a show. We have partnered with Sway's Universe for this, and the show we're covering now is The Last of Us.
Yes.
Right, fresh off of episode 2. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the whole plot, and we'll talk about it.
Season 1, Episode 2, Infected. In 2003, authorities in Jakarta asked Dr. Ratna, a mycology professor, to examine the corpse of a woman who recently killed after attacking her co-workers at a flower factory. Ratna notices that the corpse has a human bite mark on its leg, and fungal grows out of its mouth. After learning the growths have been identified as cordyceps and several workers from the same factory are missing, military officer Agus Hadayat asks her what can be done to prevent further spread. Ratna tells him to bomb the city and wipe out everyone living in it. In 2023, Joel and Tess hold Ellie at gunpoint and demand to know why they were tasked with escorting her. Ellie reveals that the Fireflies have established a secret camp out west with doctors working on a vaccine to prevent infection, and her DNA may be the key to ensuring the success of the vaccine. Joel demands they return to the quarantine zone, but Tess, still skeptical of Ellie's immunity, nonetheless convinces him to follow through with their original arrangement, as Fireflies will still give them supplies. As the group makes their way towards the Massachusetts State House, Tess discovers a large pack of infected blocking the route she planned to use, explaining to Ellie that fungi can sense uninfected humans across long distances to draw its host towards them. Tess suggests going through a museum. A roof cave-in attracts two clickers, mutilated hosts who rely on sound to move. Ellie gets bitten before Joel and Tess can kill the clickers. When they arrive at the old state house, the Fireflies do not come out to meet them. Tess checks inside to find all of them dead. Joel finds evidence of the infection and surmises they killed each other. Tess tries to find clues on where to go next, but Joel tells her the job is finished and they will return home. Tess tells them she cannot go back, revealing a bite mark on her neck. She reveals Ellie's mark has already healed, proving she is immune. Joel shoots an infected Firefly who tries to attack them, revealing their location to other infected hosts in the city. Tess tells Joel to take Ellie to fellow smugglers Bill and Frank, since they will be able to help. She covers the room with gasoline and grenades as Joel and Ellie leave. An infected man begins the process of converting Tess when she ignites the building, killing the creatures. Joel and Ellie watch as the state house explodes before Joel walks away.
So, if you want to watch our live watching recap commentary of it, make sure you go down to the Patreon right here. No, you ain't doing it? Yeah, it's right here, yeah. And yeah, you can watch our full live reaction and everything and commentary. You can see Bacardi still doesn't have any faith in our survival skills. But other than that, man, let's go ahead and get into the show. So, first thing first, Bacardi, how you feeling?
I mean, I like it, fam. I'm like, they give a good backstory. Like you said, you said that you guys, they don't really give cutscenes or anything about what really happened.
Yeah.
So
you learn it on the show as you go.
It's almost like how the division. No, you know how like the division was. How you.
Yeah, I mean most games like that. They don't really have. Like,
they don't just flat out tell you like, hey, this how it happened.
Right. You're pretty much reading through news reports and radio things. So I mean, knowing that that we're getting a visual background story on how it comes. I actually enjoy that, but I mean. It's definitely like watching the episode and everything. It's definitely like it's keeping up with the same suspense.
Yeah.
That the first episode did. So I'm like,
the lady
even higher actually. I would say
the lady at the beginning.
Hey, she
was there with her team was legit.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like her, she foreshadowed the whole fucking episode.
I'm not gonna lie, low key, with her part not being in the game, I was like, yo, is that how I got out? Cause he was shaking. And I'm like, bro, he got through the house.
So this is the big change that they made, and the reason why it got out, and it was foreshadowing in the first one. So in the game, it is done by spores. So when you go into a place, they got to put on a mask because the spores get it too, right?
You breathe in.
But because of Hollywood, of course, they don't want their actors always to have a mask.
You think Pedro Pascal for the lie? That's why the Mandalorian take his mask off so many times.
So the reason why she said, "Oh, that's a perfect setting for it," you got to think bread, yeast, and rye. So it got put into this factory, this bread factory. So when you think about back in the when they said that Joel is, I think he said he's keto or whatever the diet that he said at the beginning.
He's on
Atkins,
yeah.
which is a lack of bread, but like with even the symbolism of, you know, when they show the bread rising. They show at the beginning, they show Granny Atler. Remember, he was feeding her bread, you know, and so it's like it's spread through that, like, you know, that's where it starts at. It spreads through like just consumption of yeast bread, like anything.
So okay, that's what. So
that was the big change. Okay. That was one of the big changes that they did, because it was like, you know, you can't. They don't want to have their actors masked up, but it was like, okay, well, how else? And something as simple as bread, which is in everything in that factory.
Not even, and it wasn't even necessarily a bread factory. Yeah. It was a wheat factory.
A wheat factory. Yeah.
So anything that has wheat in it. Cereal.
Because the outbreak happened in there, so it's still like in a sense sport related, but it really got into the bread and the
it got into the food supply.
Yeah, and the food supply, and so, you know, you consume it, and again, it's ever growing. That's why it's growing out of people.
Right.
So I thought that was a pretty dope.
Yeah, that's dope. I didn't. Yeah, and because I mean, so that's what you said in the game. They were pretty much they were in mass because of the video game, because they were pretty much like you can't breathe it in.
Yeah.
But so when they knew they were going into a high-end whatever place,
yeah,
it was pretty much like you gotta be masked.
Well, that was the thing. When you see the spores, like even in the game, like it was automatic. Yeah. But if you like when you walk through a building,
it made you have to put it on in the game.
No, yeah,
I mean, in the games
they do.
But like in this one, you're walking in, and let's say you open the door and you start seeing the spores. The NPC be like, oh, gotta put our mask on, and you automatically.
Oh, so you automatically go into the
yeah, because they know, like, you know, that's when you know clickers may be around.
Like, you know, you're in a high end area. Like,
yeah,
we finna get a problem. So that's kind of like, you know, so you really, in most cases, you really are fighting in the game, in the sense you're fighting in most of like the high end hybrid. Like,
well, yes and no, because remember, you also dealing with regular folks. So it's like so when you're dealing with regular folks, like you may be out in the world, but then you got to deal with the Fireflies, or you got to deal with Fedra, depending on where you're at in the game. Or so it's like either way. So like, you know, like, okay, I may not get into no clicker issues here, but I may get into some, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like clickers can also they don't. There's so many different variations. Not all of them are in the dark. That's how you know when you're in the dark, when you're gonna deal with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in the light, there's still some zombie things that pop out on you.
And like we was saying, it is the way that they showed it in that scene of how they are so into sound. Mm-hmm. It truly was like that in the game. Like I said, I died many a time. Being like, bro, I know how to. I'm about to bum rush through this.
I think we all play. I mean, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. Yeah. I mean, you know, especially when the newer Resident Evils, you either fighting or you really trying to run past some shit.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And I think that's definitely like that translated best.
Or even beyond just trying to run past it, where you get cocky after you done killed enough of them, where you like, bro, I know how to do this. I can get through here. I can just go out here and start shooting.
I can just get through
here.
Like
I told you, the first time I played that one, when I died trying to sneak through it, I was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die going out fighting. And I died going out fighting.
And see, like that's always been I've always, and it's really weird because I know they probably spend a lot of time making some extravagant deaths, but I always had a fear of dying in those games. Like I play Resident Evil with my lowest death streak. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I do not play around with that trying to run in.
I'm good on that.
Like if I die, I got caught flipping. Like I really I was gonna say, I remember the first time, like even in Resident Evil, like a hunter got me, and it was really like that whole head that came off, and I was just like, I deserve that, because I didn't even know that was my head.
See, I'm sitting in video games with them, I'm like, I'm just gonna restart.
Once I learned the first time that I can't just run through it, then I get I get extremely strategic. Like I value my death in the game.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
and I mean, there's so many deaths you probably really miss out on seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really, because it was so many, like I said, that I've seen that I didn't never experience. And like Resident Evil and all that. So I know, like, you think about Last of Us and all the kind of other creatures that's in there, like, if you really, really like, all right, bro, I see this, I don't want to get killed by this.
Yeah.
So you just would never see the actual death like they, you know what I'm saying, drew up for your eyes. But it's like, I feel like most people spend a lot of time putting those together, animating those together, where it's like, we avoiding that, bro. Like, nobody wants to die.
Right. Like, with this episode, the big thing was we got a chance to see the clicker. So, them things, because those things harden, and what makes it different from the headshot is one headshot, depending on your gun, may not do it.
So and that's what I think they were showing that.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So I mean, it looked like a mushroom, but it's pretty much like a hardened shell over their head.
Well, yeah, it's
still a mushroom.
It's still a mushroom, but
it's like
hardened mushroom.
It's like an old mushroom, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely got some meat on it.
Oh yeah.
Like you shooting through it. And that's why I said I was able to see that in the game. And I'm like, you had mentioned I was watching like headshots are really only like specific or whatever. And I saw dudes shooting like 2-3 times to the head. Like, bro, this is a lot.
It looked like almost he was trying to go for the mouth too.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta figure the soft tissue. It's like headshot's already a hard shot.
And like, so you got stuff that's going like this. Like, you gotta kind of really get up out of there.
And I mean, I think so. And that's what, so we saw. So I guess is what we would say. So right now, so is the base zombies pretty much like the fast running aggressive ones, and then it's the clickers now, right?
Well, yes, I guess in the game the clickers is usually because you don't really see those fast running ones like that. Like you see a horde, but it's usually the clickers is the one.
Right.
So clickers are really the main things.
Clickers is
like
the main.
You'll see the other ones.
Yeah. But like there's evolved versions for sure. Like this is definitely on some Resident Evil shit. Yeah. So there's some evolved versions for sure. But the clickers is usually the base that you got to deal with, and they just annoying because, like I said, you hear one and you can sneak up and do a silent kill. But if you just like shoot, you may alert.
You're pretty much
4 or 5 other ones.
And I feel like they sort of alluded to that when she was asking, like, I heard rumors about different types and stuff. When she was asking at the beginning. About,
that's what I said.
That was clearly an illusion where I feel like it was like another Easter egg for somebody who played the game.
Oh yeah, because the type that she named, those were actual one zombies that are ended.
I didn't even hear it.
She said the one that
splits
and spits at you.
Like swarms of infected running around everywhere.
Not exactly like that.
People like to tell stories.
So there aren't super infected that explode fungus spores on you?
Shit, I hope not.
Or ones with split open heads that see in the dark like bats?
But the spores ones, there is spores that shoot at you too. Like in the game, that's why that it was a jump scare in the episode 1, because a lot of the time they are against the wall. And then, like I said, they'll spit spores at you. Then they break out free and they come after you. Like
really?
Yeah.
So in most cases, they're not wandering. They really just like they already been.
It depends on which ones. Yeah, some of them, like I said, because the clickers, they just walk around clicking around like how you seen in here.
Yeah.
You know
which was cool. Like,
we
discovered that they was
that. Like I said, that's fire. The fact that they used them,
actors.
That's fire because they were going crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, and you want that. That's definitely authenticity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you really got, because if they're moving like you see them in the game, then you like, bro, y'all over it. Y'all see now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like, like the clickers is used, and you use them. That's when it comes to stealth. I like how they did the stealth in this episode. Like, because it felt like the game. Like, you literally, you behind stuff, you duck behind stuff, trying not to make no sound. But you, like you said, you got to get through this stage. So it's like, all right, I gotta kill something, because I got to be able to move through this. And
they in your way. Like, I gotta do.
And then it was like you said, it gave it that true video game moment with the cave-in, because
it
truly was. Boom! Can't go back.
Can't go back. Like, gotta keep pushing forward. It's like every video game has, every game in that world has a rock boulder.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's cliche, but it's also like it lets you know that, hey,
you've been against some shit though.
Hope you're prepared.
Yeah. Like I always put that in games where it's like I'm finna get some shit done.
Oh yeah, when you can't go back. When there's no,
especially if you just hit a save.
Yeah.
And you like, all right, you done.
Or when they got auto save, that's how you know when something happens and auto save pops up right after.
Or when you find a random room with all the drops. Like, I'm getting mad ammo, I'm getting mad health. Like, okay, something.
Like I love that about video games now. It's like you feel like those are just things. Like you, as you're playing, like making games, we gotta have this room, we gotta have this space, we gotta have this fall. You know what I'm saying?
Video games, they slow rolled us into it, because you gotta think about it. There's more and more video games that don't have a map anymore, right? Where now there's like, the classic video game trope: if you run into enemies, you're going in the right path. Like here's where they did like really subtle Easter eggs that was like really dope about the game. So in the game, one of the mechanics that you constantly have to deal with Joel is that Ellie can't swim.
Just so it's out there,
I don't know how to swim.
Seriously?
It looks like it's shallow on the right side.
Pools in the QC?
No, smart ass. I mean,
I'm glad no one had me.
So when you may find something like, oh, I gotta get across there, and Joel can swim, you gotta go find a platform and you gotta bring it to her so she can hop on, and then you gotta guide her.
So the whole Ellie can't.
Yeah, so the whole Ellie can't.
So that was funny because he like, we not doing this. I'm not gonna get no more.
But also, like, you deal with a whole lot of high rises, right? And so like you deal with but you deal with all these clickers. So then a lot of the travel in between buildings is on wooden planks. So that moment when she was like, that was scary. This is just a wooden plank. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, so it's like, I like how they've been doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've been throwing little things. It was like, in the game, you would have to do this. But, you know what I'm saying? Let's address it in realism. You know, what you have to do.
So like you can tell how they're gonna become friends. Because even when they had that moment where they looked out over the town, over the city, and he kind of looked at her because she is old for her age. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's noticing that. Like,
and that before you go into about that was exactly ripped from the game. That moment where they look at the city and she said, "Damn, but you can't beat this view."
Dude, yeah.
That was exactly like word for word.
And you never been nowhere, so Joe looking at her like, okay, you get it.
is it everything you hoped for?
So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out.
Jury's still out.
But man, you can't deny that view. But man, you can't deny that view.
You get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it. This is what we fighting for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so like that was pretty dope. But yeah, like, you know what? I think they had to go extra harder because in the game, when you're playing the game, even though he's not as hardened as he is in the show, you do get that sense of this is a strained relationship until there's a moment where you actually can physically see the change.
So in the game, and I guess you can tell me that, is it, because you just said like Act 1, Act 3. Like in the game, is it like that? Like it's split up in acts?
Well, it's not split up in acts. I'm just basing it off of that.
You got it. Yeah, based off of it's early.
It's early because here's the thing.
So like all we saying is still early in the game.
I mean, yeah, because
I mean, there's only like 10 episodes, so now they're gonna be other seasons or they gotta skip.
Well, no, I think they plan. I'm assuming they're not gonna say one season is one.
Yeah, and the pacing, I like the pacing because there's a lot that happens in game 1 and a lot happens in game 2. And I feel like I don't want game 1 in one season.
And that's what I don't. That's what I don't think.
And I don't think that
so you don't think we're gonna get game 1 in one season?
No. The way that this is pacing so far,
I got a feeling I know exactly where it's going to end.
But y'all also said too, like y'all said it might be a 3. Y'all feel like it's gonna be 3 Last of Us? Like
Definitely.
It seems like
so they can give us so they would give us like 2 seasons per game, and the fact that 2 just came out. Then I mean we would get pretty much, you know what I'm saying, like 4.
And which I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
4 seasons before 3 drops, like the actual game of 3
because the climax of game 1 is so like cinematic.
And I think that's going to be the season finale.
The climax that you just the actual
the way HBO does all of this stuff.
Wait.
But you said
I don't think the season finale will be the climax of 1. I think season 2 climax. Season finale will be because I feel like you said it's only 6 episodes per season, right?
10.
No,
it's 10.
Oh, it's 10. Okay, they could potentially.
That's what I thought.
They could potentially do this.
Because the way you can do that is
or 9, I think.
You start the climax, and that's how you get your cliffhanger.
So here's what, and this is what I like that they're building. Remember, so exactly what you said. Tess is really older in the mindset because she's in this world.
Yeah.
But I mean Ellie, yeah. But Joel still sees a kid.
Yeah.
So the struggle is Joel still treating her like a kid, and Ellie's like, I'm ready for this. So it's like that's gonna be.
No, I'm just saying in general. That was kind of like, but even in the game, I always thought that was like, damn, y'all know what y'all are doing now.
But that's what I felt though. That's what I said. Like where I realized like Joel kind of like that sunset looking.
Oh yeah.
And he looking over. It's like Joel is gonna be eventually. It's not about like you. I guess in the sense what you're saying, like it's about like you said, he's looking at her still like a kid. Even when he was talking to Tess about it, he like how he want to handle this, and she like Tess realized talking to her like, no, you all right, you stop.
He specifically told her, why are you talking to her? She has a future.
Yeah.
Like
Joel's so heartless.
He told her like, fam, she is a child, and with the world we in,
Joel
she might not
so
ever not be a child.
Right, that's what because I would be Joel, bro. I would be telling niggas like, bro, why are you acting like this when you gonna die? Like you can die at any moment.
Hey,
I'll be that nigga. I'll be really pessimistic,
the split decision of Joel of leaving when Tess got bit. Like we watched enough zombie stuff. When somebody you love get bit, it's a moment. Like
he had a moment. He looked.
No. Hold on. Like because we saw Rick like lose it when when he found out about Carl, when he found out about his wife, like we seen people lose it. Joel just was like, damn. All right, we gotta go. Let's go. He didn't give her a chance. When Ellie said, "Oh damn, she bit," he said, "Let me see." She was like, "Hey Joe," he was like, "Hey."
And that was even funny because I feel like Ellie was just like everybody else, like, you talking different. You know what I mean? Ellie was like, you talking real different.
Hey, hold up.
She didn't crack it to them at all, like lightly. She just said, "Damn, hey,
You gotta be different. You talking real different.
You talking real greasy to me, right? Like you in a rush, nigga.
You different. Like, oh,
you also gotta remember, in episode 1, they showed us that chart of how fast you turn.
Right.
If you get bit on the neck or up, it's 15-20 minutes. If you get bit, like it was like they had that.
Oh yeah,
they literally
but
had
I swear that walk had to be longer than 15-20 minutes.
That is definitely that. From that fight, just the pressing alone, that drilling that you been in. You at the 15.
I meant to Google Maps it. Like, how long does the walk from the museum to the state capitol?
You only get in 20 minutes if you just sitting still. Like, you can just chill out.
Oh, you talking about the blood flow?
Yeah.
That kind of.
You on edge. That shit should have been 10. Nigga, like, you trying to get to another point. You hiding it. You know what I'm saying? You being all scary. Like, your adrenaline already should have that shit. Like,
so head, neck, and face, 5 to 15 minutes. Torso, arm, shoulder, hand is 2 to 8 hours. So,
okay, so that might have been considered shoulder.
So that may have been considered shoulder. That's 2 to 8 hours.
So last week we talked about would you trust HBO with an anime adaptation. Now I want to flip it. What do you think goes into, like, everybody's talking about how great of a video game adaptation is? We've seen good ones, we've seen bad ones.
Right.
So one of the things that really made this one a lot of people like is they said, oh, it's basically the mirroring the game 1-to-1. What is mirroring the game 1-to-1 what you think makes a good video game adaptation, or is it just staying faithful to the source material?
I gotta
even
answer
if you switch plot points a little bit, it's faithful to sort of the ethos of the source material.
No, because I'm going to say right now because of Resident Evil. Like, I guarantee you, if this becomes successful, we're gonna get the Resident Evil actual
like 1-to-1.
So
1-to-1.
So I agree. It should, the 1-on-1 is but I think that if it was only pure 1-on-1, like copy, it wouldn't be enough, right?
Okay.
I feel like what makes this show work is that they're taking the small Easter eggs and giving it way more life, right? So like the changes that they're making in it makes more like it's not nothing significant change, right? It's not like, oh, we're gonna make Joe a bad baby daddy or something like it's not shit like that. You know, it's like, oh, okay, this little small thing, let's expand upon this and around the script that we already have, so that way now this thing is gonna come full circle with this and stuff like that.
Right? I mean, it's really cool. Like,
and that's what I like about it. Like, so who won the episode for you?
This episode, I'm still riding. You know what? Joel really kind of stepped up this episode.
Okay.
Cause I was really.
Did you say he didn't step up? Did you say
I said he did.
Cause Ellie was last episode.
No,
I forgot who was last episode.
Ellie was my.
Ellie, okay.
Ellie was mine. I was gonna get to Ellie.
And that's crazy because she was in an episode for like 10 minutes last episode.
And she cleaned up.
Like,
Came in and cut the niggas out.
Crazy.
She left an impression on
Like,
somebody.
what?
Came in, cut the niggas the
And
fuck out.
she did. They tried to stab somebody immediately.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like. So I was gonna give it to her again, only because of the moment. Because everybody, the reason I'm gonna give Ellie for this second season, this episode, is because everybody was trying to talk to her, like really trying to understand her, and she really just giving everybody the fucking 14-year-old asshole attitude.
Yeah, you said at one point, like, bro, the 14-year-old
is OC, bro. Like, you out of but that's why I give it to
though.
Joe, because I saw so many times with Joe, like, hey, little mama, like, hey, little mama, like,
hey, when she was acting like a clicker,
yeah.
Hey, stop fucking with me.
I am not fucking playing with you.
Stop fucking with me, because I will clear you out in this motherfucking museum right now.
Like,
But that was before the museum. I don't know what.
They was in the safe house.
Yeah, we don't know what that was.
Like, you out here acting real 14, bro. Like, I felt like.
He had that one, like, you know, when you pitch this, like,
yeah, because I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I feel like it started from that, like, because I was like, we got Tess talking to her first, and she was like, oh, you a badass motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when she left, and Fam had to really sit with her
Yeah.
She was giving this nigga attitude. He's like, look, this little motherfucker right here, bro.
Like, one episode for you.
I'm gonna give it to Tess. Like, even after getting bit, until she couldn't anymore, she tried to, like, look, I'm gonna get us to this goal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like,
she the one that definitely put Joel in it.
Oh, yeah.
Joel was like, take this.
He was ready. He was like, fuck, we going back to the crib.
Yeah, we going back to the crib.
Was ready.
Joel was like,
I ain't trying to do it.
He was like, fam, he was like, bro, she big. I don't trust her. I'm trying to get back to the crib. Fuck,
like this is a lot,
we'll get this battery another day.
And also, so that's why I said I feel like Tess was really talking to her in this episode, like, Lil Mama, we will fucking leave you out here. Like, we are not the best people you think we are. Marlene gave you a chicken sandwich.
When she saw that chicken,
that was funny because that was like her change. She saw her eating the chicken. She was like, hold up. Let me see
that's when she started talking. She was like, oh, you ain't no king. You got, like, hold on. Why are you important when you got good food and you not eating this motherfucking jerky?
We eating jerky.
Like, I really now I want to know what you, because I'm going to leave your ass. I'm going to take this fucking sandwich, bitch, and I'm going to leave your ass here.
My win, who won the episode, is Dr. Rat.
Her,
because she was clearly the expert, because she identified immediately, like, yo, why did y'all prep this like this? And it was like, well, it came from a human. And then when she had that moment, like, she stood up, she said, bro, don't fuck with me. Because that shit can't live in humans.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit can't live in humans.
Had the glasses on, went through the thing, whatever.
Put the glasses back on, Black Panther.
She said,
and down there walk like y'all
some bullshit. And so then when they showed her, and bro, she did two things. She walked in, she looked. She said, he said on the leg. She cut the leg, she looked. She said, wait. That when somebody bit that? She was like, yeah. She was like, wait, so a human bit it. You're like, all right. She checked him out, she saw that shit. She said, I'm out. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was mine.
Motherfucker thought they was gonna pull her in for a car's extended warranty type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, so on a scale from 1 to 5 Eagles, what you giving me?
I'm still 5. I think this episode is really great.
4.5.
Okay.
You wanna be good devil's advocate?
No. They set me up giving me an hour and 20-minute episode and took 30 minutes away from me. Y'all deserve it. You lose a half.
I'm not even gonna go back, but I agree with your 4.5.
Well, for y'all watching, I want y'all to let us know 2 things. 1, who won the episode for you? And 2, what are you rating this episode? Matter of fact, I might have a 3rd question as well. 3rd question, in this world, are you last?
How long you think you survive?
How long you think you survive, man?
So you want to get these motherfuckers on? I'm gonna crush all of y'all dreams. Everybody that say something.
Let us know how long you think you survive.
Let us know. But again, man, follow us on this journey, man. Geekset Rewind GT, brought to you by Sway's Universe. Like I said, this is episode 2 recap. Follow us, you know what I'm saying? Go to our Patreon right here. You go watch our live reaction, our live, commentary of the show. And join us next week for episode 3 as we recap and review The Last of Us. Peace.